2019 is a year when Harry Potter may start its comeback. Though Crimes of Grindelwald struggled at the box office, the Hogwarts Mystery mobile game continues to grow, and the new game Wizards Unite is coming to smartphones soon. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child play tours the United States, and a new roller coaster is debuting at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling have seen the successes and also the failures of expanded universes, and I believe it's time to expand the Wizarding world. In this video, I'll be talking about 6 ideas for a Harry Potter streaming series on HBO, Netflix, and Hulu, and none of them have anything to do with rhinos with balls on their head. One of the first things that comes to mind when somebody says Harry Potter is Quidditch. No, not that Muggle Quidditch, the fantasy sport where wizards compete to catch the snitch, worth an absurdly unreasonable 150 points. The show I have in mind would follow the life of a professional Quidditch player on the road to a World Cup championship. The main character could be drafted right out of school onto a team like the Bulgarian national team with Viktor Krum. That way, we could see how Viktor Krum acts as a team leader and what he did after the Triwizard Tournament. Or, the show could be centered around an existing character like Oliver Woods. Whatever happened to him after Hogwarts? Well, he is actually a reserve player on Puddlemere United, a professional Quidditch team. Imagine a sports show like the Remember the Titans movie. A Quidditch team that's not supposed to win and makes it all the way to the World Cup. We could get broom training montages, fight scenes, locker room drama, and more. It's Quidditch, a true underdog story. Speaking of life after Hogwarts, what happens to wizards and witches after they graduate? Do they go to wizard grad school? Do they go straight into the workforce? I mean, they're only 17-year-olds. One profession that magical folk go into is an Auror. That's actually what Harry Potter did for a living after he defeated Lord Voldemort. For you muggles out there, an Auror is a dark wizard catcher. That show could be followed around some Aurors on their missions to find a villainy of the wizarding world. Imagine a show on HBO like Law & Order or NCIS, but magical. And the villains don't have to be as dark as Lord Voldemort seeking to destroy the world. Maybe there's a dark wizard smuggling dragon eggs into London. Or there could always be people illegally using the unforgivable curses. We saw Harry, Ron, and Hermione use wizarding items for good, but how could Polyjuice Potion, Felix Felicis, or an invisibility cloak be used for bad? Better yet, this show could center around the Aurors hunting down the rest of the Death Eaters after the fall of Lord Voldemort. Did they all fall off the grid, or were there others that still fought on? We could get high-speed broom chases, intense duels, and even interaction with a wizarding court, the Wizengamot. We all know about the wizarding world in today's society thanks to Harry Potter and friends, but how long has magic been around? Was Napoleon a goblin? Were Vikings wizards? What's the real deal with the pharaohs in Egypt?
I read about it in Hogwarts, a history.
J.K. Rowling's extended writings showed us that there were many wizards throughout the ages, even including those at the Salem witch trials. But how did magic originate? Were there founding fathers? We know that Godric Gryffindor and the other founders founded Hogwarts around 990 AD. So what was going on around that time in the wizarding world? Well, I see a show similar to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic video game, if you're familiar, where we get to see what magic was like 2,000 years ago. Was there a great threat to the wizarding world? Did muggles and wizards coexist? Just think about the opportunities that this show could have in expanding the lore of the wizarding world as we know it back in the old days. And since the folklore show would most likely be for adults, there should also be a more kid-friendly show for Netflix. After all, Harry Potter is a children's book. One concept for an animated show is the Tales of Beedle the Bard miniseries. You may be familiar with the Tale of the Three Brothers, which is read aloud by Hermione in Deathly Hallows. The animation style could be quite similar to that of the movie, and each episode would be about 20 to 30 minutes and tell the stories of the wizarding children's book. Including Tale of the Three Brothers, there are 5 total stories in the book.
The Wizard and the Hopping Pot, Babbity Rabbity and the Cackling Stump. Come on. Babbity Rabbity.
And my favorite to see would be the Fountain of Fair Fortune. In this story, unfortunate people are allowed to search for a fountain that grants him or her fair fortune forever. And it's quite a puzzling and adventurous tale. These stories are short, sweet, silly, and they would really lend to a great animated short series. Another pitch for a streaming show on Netflix or Hulu would be Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. In Goblet of Fire, J.K. Rowling expanded the wizarding world by bringing in more wizarding schools like Durmstrang and Beauxbaton. Hogwarts isn't the only school out there. In fact, there are many across the globe, including Ilvermorny, the wizarding school of the United States. Now, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them tease the American school, which is actually in Massachusetts.
A wizardry school here in America? Of course. Ilvermorny. It's only the best wizard school in the whole world.
I picture a fun coming-of-age series. There doesn't have to be a big bad guy like Lord Voldemort, just young wizards and witches making their way through school. The series could explore the lives of young American wizards and the differences between Ilvermorny and Hogwarts. Where do they buy their wands? Do they have different currency? Young adult themes, of course, were in Harry Potter, but the real focus was on defeating Lord Voldemort. Imagine what life was like for the other students at Hogwarts that weren't always involved in the drama. There's so much more to explore here, and this would be a perfect way to explore the wizarding world. To this point, all of my pitches haven't tied directly into the Harry Potter story because I think it's important to grow the wizarding world rather than just make it smaller. However, there are ways to tie into Harry's story other than the lazy way that Cursed Child did it. One unexplored era of Harry Potter is the First Wizarding War during Lord Voldemort's rise to power in the 1970s. During this time, we know that Voldemort was gaining Death Eater followers and being opposed by Dumbledore's Order of the Phoenix. I picture the streaming show being dark, warlike, like a HBO Game of Thrones series. That way they can bring in great talents, even including Jude Law as the same young Dumbledore from Crimes of Grindelwald. We could see Harry's parents, Neville's parents, Lucius Malfoy, young Snape, the Marauders, and more. Over the decade-long period before Voldemort's defeat in 1981, there would have to be massive wand duels and battles between Death Eaters and the Order of the Phoenix, and I would love to see that. I see so much potential in an HBO show like this that it makes me want to pitch the idea to Warner Brothers today. Can you hear me, J.K. Rowling? Just like Star Wars did with their canon universe, it's time to expand the wizarding world of Harry Potter and focus on other stories rather than just Harry's. We want to see more magic. Anyways, what are your ideas for a Wizarding World film? Do you like my show ideas? If you like this video and are interested in another one like it, please let me know. I do many movie related shows on my channel, so be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching.